Hi everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing Prolific. It's a website where you complete short academic studies and surveys in exchange for a bit of extra cash. I'm going to talk through the pros and cons of the site, how much I ended up making and how long it took me, and then how I ended up actually getting banned. So first off, what is Prolific? Well, it's a website where researchers post surveys and then you get to complete them in exchange for like a specified monetary reward. So like they say, oh, you can complete this survey, it takes a minute and you get 10p for it basically. It's really straightforward. Initially, you will have to complete a page that looks like this. There are a lot of different categories and you have to input in your information and then they give you studies and surveys based off of this information. After this, you'll then be given sort of surveys that you can do which come up as and when they appear, and then you can decide to do them or not. There's no pressure if you don't want to do them, but if you do them, they generally don't take very long. So how much can you actually make and how long will it take? Well, during my course with Prolific, I was on the site for about 3 weeks and I made £29 and a penny. So not actually that much money, and to do this I completed 30 surveys. That probably took around 4 hours, so the pay per hour isn't actually that great. However, one thing I would say is that over £20 of this came from one survey and one kind of bigger survey. So you can see kind of my survey page here. It shows you how many submissions you've had approved, your total earnings, and then you just kind of get a rough overview of every survey you've completed. It's really well organized and I do really like that about the site. Okay, so now for some of the positives and negatives of the site. Firstly, the positives. It is very, very easy to use. If you want to go on a survey, sometimes it could just be one question, you click your answer and then you're done. Sometimes they are a little bit longer, but it doesn't take you that much time. And if they are longer, it's not really that mentally taxing, like they're fairly easy to complete. It's usually information about yourself or your opinion, so it's not really very difficult. Also, the surveys can be interesting, or like some of the questions that come up are interesting. And then the payment is fair, I guess, for the time you're putting in, and it states how much you'll get paid before you choose to accept. Also, the payment page is very easy to understand. It shows you how much money you have balancing, how much is pending, and also you can withdraw every time you hit £6, as this payment page shows. And some of the cons: the hourly pay isn't really that great unless you're doing the higher paid surveys. The lower paid ones, even if it's 10p for a minute, usually takes a couple minutes, and then over the course of an hour, the pay isn't actually that great when you look at the hourly rate. Also, survey availability can be a little bit hit and miss, I found. So sometimes you'll go on there and there'll be a fair few, or sometimes you'll go on and there will be nothing. Whether that's changed now, I'm not 100% sure, but when I was using the platform, it was a little bit, it fluctuated a lot basically. And how did I end up getting banned? Well, Prolific like you to use certain Wi-Fi providers. So I was living in a flat at the time, and the Wi-Fi provider that I was using was kind of acceptable, they were happy with it, and then I got surveys because of it. I ended up moving addresses, and then my Wi-Fi provider changed, and I tried to complete a survey basically, and they weren't very happy with it, which I understand that's their policy. I did try to explain, I sent an email, but they just banned my account and I can no longer do surveys. So I 100% get their case. They were also very nice and were like, any money you have in the platform, you can still withdraw. So they were very reasonable with this. And I would say overall, they are a very reasonable company. So some final tips and thoughts. Firstly, it is a really good website to use. They are credible, but I would just stick to the higher paid surveys. That is unless you have nothing else to do, and 10p here and there, like you might as well. But yeah, I would say stick to the higher paid surveys. It's very easy to get on. It's very easy to use once you're on it. So I would recommend that. It isn't the most profitable, or it isn't really that profitable. It made me about £10 a week whilst I was using it. So it's not amazing, but like for a bit of extra cash here and there, like it's very easy, and why not really? So I hope you found this review useful. If you have any more questions about Prolific, then just be sure to ask and I'll get back to you. And also if you have any other websites that you've kind of looked at and you want to try, then just let me know and I'll be sure to review them and let you know what I think. But yeah, thank you.